1, and then inside, up and through here. Again, 1, taking, you can see my other hand here, once again, here's where I am inside his body, right here. 1, and I'm right on, my elbow is actually touching my body as I'm hitting here. 1, following, right up inside. 2, this is a very, very, very powerful strike. 1, and then torquing right up the body. 1, 2. We'll have Maurice drop this hand here so you can see what I'm doing. Again, turn a little bit this way. Coming inside. 1, just under the nipple. 1, do not remove your hand. Stay there so you can spend some time on the target. Drive this one deep into the body. Deep, 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 deep. And then just follow straight up, right up under here. The contour of the jaw, the hand will adhere right to that particular area. And then you just rip it straight back. 1, 2, and rip it straight back. 1, 2. Let's take a look at the wrist, all right? These particular areas here, this and this, really lends itself to power infighting, explosive infighting. A good infighter has to be able to use the palms and the wrists, and the elbows, and the ulnar and radius bones of the forearm, okay? The elbow and the ulnar and radius, that's coming up next. Okay, let's take a look at the wrist. Used in many Chinese styles of karate or kung fu, whatever you want to call it, okay? In through here. Same situation here, okay? Attack, please. 1 with the open hand, coming inside, rotating around with the wrist this way, okay? Let's go around this way so they can see what I'm doing. Again here, attacking. 1 inside, ripping down, staying inside. 1, ripping down. 2. Using this hand here to give you some leverage here. I'm actually hitting with the wrist and the beginning of the forearm in this position here. Bring it up high on the head, well past the ear. You can see that my hand is well past his head. The palm of my hand is over here, so I'm actually hitting with this part here. The higher up on the arm you hit, the deeper in you can go, the closer you can go. I really feel, and the harder you hit. So, once again, on the attack here, hands are up, ripping down here, stay close to the wrist. Don't come over here near the arms. He's too strong. You're on the arms, he's too strong. Close to the wrist, torque the body, follow the limb, up, right up, like so. Staying inside. Follow, grappling here, torquing here, bring it inside here. One more time real quick. One here, and bring it up in here. This will stay on target really, really good. Okay? Sternocleidomastoid in through here. Not a very nice place to be hit. We're using target practice. Please learn the human body. I don't want to hit him here, and I don't want to hit him up on the crown of the head. I want to bring it right down near the earlobe. The earlobe is just a nice place to stay, around that earlobe. If you can stay around that earlobe, then you're going to hit a home run most of the time. What I want to go over now is just the double hand palm movement, straight up. Very, very simple, mechanically very simple. You just move your hands forward. But it's not so simple, because if it was that simple, anyone could do it. From here, you've still got the torque, okay? You still got the torque, you still got the large muscles moving inside. This works best when, once again, you attack the attack, as the attack comes in. And it works underneath the arms. Basically what it is from here, and in this position here. You notice the angle of the hands. As you get a little more advanced and your hands become a little stronger with some training, you can actually hit along the forefinger and the thumb, okay? But for now, use the palm of your hands on the bag. You can work this on the heavy bag, just this way here. Just start off, just moving inside here. Elbows come in really, really tight into this position. And again, if both hands hit up into this area. This is a stopping technique. This technique will stop this particular person. If you hit here, you hit down on the belly or up on the chest, not so good, but right in here. And again, the beauty of these arcing techniques, you notice, let me give you a side view here. You notice how they arc, they come from here, and the arms move up into this position. Never extend this way. So, never extend this way, always right up in here. Taking your rear and moving it right up in here. Move your buttocks right up into the movement. Okay? So, we'll take this attack here. Standing still. Coming forward, please. Moving right up inside here. Looks extremely simple. Looks extremely easy. And it is. There's nothing complicated about the majority of these infighting techniques that I'm doing. It takes practice. It takes a lot of time. But once you understand where the body mechanics and where the power is coming from, you can do some amazing hitting from very, very, very close. Phone booth close. Okay. Once again, from here, moving inside, right up inside up here. All right? This hits extremely, extremely hard. All right, let's work the elbow now. One thing before we start, some do's and don'ts. Don't hit with the forearm. We are not playing football. You're not an offensive or defensive lineman. All right? You do not want to hit with the forearm. Okay? You want to hit with the elbow. With the elbow. It's like having a little Kubaton right here. With the point of the elbow. Okay? That's what causes the ripping motion of the elbow strike. Here's another very important fact. You do not want to close your hand in your kata. If you're doing kata in your style of karate or whatever martial art you're working on, we have a lot of kata that closes the hand and do the elbow strike. That's okay. That's kata. Okay, and kata's important. I love kata. All right. But for infighting, we want to actually have the hand very, very loose, so that your elbow strike actually looks in here. See my hand? It's really down in here. Because you're not hitting with your hand, you're hitting with the elbow. And you want to keep it nice and fluid, okay? So you're hitting in through here. I'm going to get in a deep stance, as if I was doing a kata, or standing up here, waiting for that bus again, using this motion. You see where my hand is down in through here? This allows the elbow to go past the center. Now you have a shoulder, you have a ball and socket joint of the shoulder. Let the shoulder do what it wants. Let the shoulder do what it wants. Don't stop it there. Let it go. The natural torquing motion of the pelvis area, the large muscles of your back, trapezius and lats, and the deltoid works right in here. You'll notice that the elbow now, if I stay loose and let the shoulder go, the elbow will go past the halfway point. Past the halfway point, okay, instead of right here. So, what we're going to do on the medicine ball is we're going to try to create a dimple, a little belly button. If you hit the medicine ball wrong, you'll have a very elongated line because that's where the forearm hit. I'll do one of these. I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's, see, well, do it right there. See how long that line is in through here? Okay, that's not a very good elbow strike because it's over in here. What I want to do now is I want to pinpoint this elbow strike a little bit farther, so I'm just hitting with the circumference of actually the elbow itself, the bone of the elbow, where the upper arm meets the forearm bone, right in through here, okay? You all know what that is, right in through here. And that's what I want to hit right in here. So if I work this on an arcing motion, not up horizontally this way, your hands are here, they come up through here, and works in this way. The elbow will arc, again, like a sickle, just like a sickle. It'll arc. The hands are in here, either this way or this way, left, right. It doesn't work. Don't lift it this way, because now you're hitting with this portion here. Again, you want to hit from right in here. So it looks like this. Little dimple. You see it? A little dimple right there. Okay? And that's where it works in here. When you hit the body this way, the human body this way, this will go very, very deep. Work this elbow on the bag. The heavy bag is very good, but the trouble with a lot of students, martial arts students, when they start working the heavy bag, they start forgetting the body mechanics, and they start forgetting the technique. They just want to start wailing on the bag. All right, so again, keep it short. Keep it really, really short. Get up really, really tight here, and just work right in through here. So if I, let me just take this now, Bill, you stay right there. If I just work here, and I get rid of the ball, and we're working in through here, let's turn this way a little. You can see that the elbow now is going into the body, and it's arcing upward. It has a natural arc and a natural ripping effect when you take that sickle-like arcing movement of the elbow and rip it up into the body this way. It gets under the nipple and goes up, but only if you keep it in really, really tight this way. To work the elbow from the body to the head is really no problem, okay? From here, from this position, right in through here, very, very close, you just keep the hands on the body itself, moving your hands in this way, working the hands in through here, or from here, bringing your hands right up. Don't do this. Bring your hands right up like you're drawing two pistols out of your imaginary holsters. Bring your hands right up. I'm going to hit with one elbow, but you notice two hands are coming. I'm not doing this. Two hands working this way. So when I'm hitting, I've got my other hand right here. Again, why two hands? To bring all of the muscles into the blow. Here, and then not bringing it back for the head shot. One, just right there, two. So, 1, 2. Body, this is like kata. You can make up a kata doing it. Body, now I'm not going to bring it back and go up top. Body, I'm just going to relax back here a little bit and right back up top to the head. Body, head. Okay, Maurice, thank you, Bill. Let's work Maurice again with the protective vest. Okay, we can hit now pretty good with this thing here, so you can let this thing go. Again, if you do it wrong, you're going to be hitting with the forearm. And most of the time, if I do it wrong, he'll go, say he goes backwards, because it's a push, all right? If I hit him right, don't make a liar out of me now. If I hit him right, this will go deep, and he really won't. I don't think he's going to go too far. Yeah, see, he'll stay right there. You'll notice the shock wave of the body, that shock wave goes right through the body, and that will set up that trauma that you're looking for, okay? Right in through here. This works pretty good, right, Maurice? Yes, it does. Okay, again, the hand on the bag. Here's a good practice tip for you when you're doing it in the dojo. And I've mentioned this before. Put your hand right on the bag. Because a lot of times in confrontations, you can get your hands up, and you get it on the chest, and you're grappling around in here with your hands. If your hands are here, you're in good shape, because all you got to do is roll it. You don't need this elbow strike coming from deep center field. Right in through here, just a very short little movement here, okay, and your elbow will take off. And it hits, it's in a very, very explosive movement. So, very quickly, I can get my hands up, rocking in here, and rocking straight up. From the body, 1, a little release of tension here, and then right back up to the head. You see this a lot in tournaments. It's just a backhand. I like to use this in infighting to get in. Okay, the idea about infighting is to get in, all right? If you're out here, you could get injured in an attack. So if you're going to be a good explosive infighter, you want to get in. Okay, so this is one technique that gets you in really, really quick. And I actually prefer to throw this with my hands down in this position. You can throw them from here, but I prefer them down. To be a good fighter, to be a good infighter, you must be able to fight just as I'm facing you right now, this way, okay? So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to just push in with this foot, take that one step, and keep your arms very, 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 very loose, all right? It's almost like a backhand slap, but it's not, because you're bringing those large muscles with you, and you're also bringing both hands, because if you bring both hands, you're bringing all the muscles with you. So, it looks like this, all right? Like this, okay? I'll slow that down. From here, moving in, it's not a step. Your whole body comes in. I like to turn that shoulder sideways and work from here, because on this initial hit, I am not saying this is a knockout blow, but it could be, because you're actually hitting with the back of your hand. You're not hitting with the fingernails or the fingers. You're hitting with the back of the hand. The whole back of the hand is hitting, okay? If you want to close your fist, you can close your fist. But I feel that an open hand works much faster, and once again, I think it hits harder. That's debatable, but I personally think it hits harder. So, on the attack, instead of waiting for the attack, if you're reading well, you can see this attack coming inside, okay? So, working right in through here. Let your body come right forward. Don't stand back here and do it. Let your body come right forward and get yourself in there. And then once you're here, then you can go to work. There'll be a time in your training when you get real good at this that, what do I do now? Well, my answer to you will be whatever your hands want to do, and that's what will happen after a period of time. So again, from here, standing still on the attack, watching the attack come inside. Again, I'm looking for that ear, and I'm looking for the side of the head. Okay, one more time, real quick, and right in through here. This one really gets the attacker's attention because it's so fast, or it will become very fast when you practice it and practice it and practice it. First, let's take it in stages. First, start from, you notice I'm a little sideways here. You can do this forward, but the reason you want to turn sideways is kind of obvious. You're giving a smaller target, okay, to the attacker. Plus, this is the attacking move here when you hit this way. All right? So as I face the attacker, I'm going to step inside and I'm going to turn, and as I turn, the hand goes out. You don't want to take it, turn, and then move. You want the turn and the extension, the explosion of the hand at the same time. Now you notice I'm hitting with the whole back of my hand here. The whole back of my hand is hitting, not just the fingers. So I'm hitting with the whole part, even the wrist. From the fingernail all the way up to the wrist is hitting. Okay? So from here, working, again, notice, taking both hands with you. Taking just moving and just exploding into the side of the head with this particular strike. Okay, standing and moving inside this way. You notice how close I'm getting to him now. I'm getting real close. My shoulder is actually touching Maurice's chest at this point. Now that goes to the side of the head. That's hitting pretty hard, right? Yes. From here, very, very loose. The hands are very, very loose. However, on contact, once again, you're bringing all of the cavalry up, all of the huge muscles coming inside. From here, I love this. I can do this the whole video. I'll just do this moving here, okay? Before we get into the leg strikes, I want to go over one last part of the arm. And when you're measuring the most destructive, if you had a destructive scale to measure strikes, this one might be right up there in the top 1, 2, or 3, okay? the bone right along the thumb side here, and this is the radius bone, okay? This bone here can really explode into the side of the head. Not so much for the body. You can use it to the body. You can use it to the body. But it really goes up to the head. It works around the shoulder of the attacker, really follows the contour of the body. You can actually be in a closed grappling, wrestling, grappling, rolling around on the ground situation, and this particular strike can actually explode from here. Get a hold, right? Get a hold. All right, now right up through here, and this strike, as you can see, is coming right up over the top, right up into this area here, and it hits with devastating power, okay? Number one, because look where it's hitting. It's hitting up in the mastoid area here, once again, underneath that earlobe, and you can bring it behind the head, and you can just rip it straight back in through here. So any grappling situation here, even if I'm on the inside, if I can get my hands up into this position, I can just bring it up into this position here. Okay, there's no way that I can hit Maurice with this one. We can work the heavy bag. I'll be working the heavy bag for just a few seconds to show you this particular movement. It hits extremely hard from an extremely close position. The other thing that's really very good about this forearm strike is that it follows the contour of the arm. Remember I said a little earlier in the video, once you make the block, once you rip the hands down, if you can get to that position. I also said when you're in real close, there's not a lot of blocking going on. But once you can rip these hands down, you follow the contour of the arm. Okay, you can follow this with a punch or anything, but if you follow it with this particular forearm bone here, again, on the thumb side, you can just almost scrape the arm, use the arm as a guide, and guess what? At the top comes the shoulder. Guess what's beyond the shoulder? The head, all right? And just follow it right up to the side of the head. This hits extremely, extremely hard. Here's one thing that you want to do, following the contour of the body. Okay. Give me a punch in here. Give me this punch here. Okay, one in through here. We like to work, in fighting you want to work really, really, really close with a lot of arcing movements in through here. Not up and down movements like this. Right up and through here. Very, very, not out here. Really, really in close. Because when you're in fighting, you're going to be ripping in through here. All right, arcing circles, all right? So from in here, we're going to be moving into this position, following the forearm right up into this area over here. All right? So come on in through here, working right down into this position here. Okay? Take them down from this position. All right, up. You all right? I'm going to make a star out of you. Okay, this is very, very simple. You get your heavy bag in your dojo again, real heavy bag, working on this one here. Get really, really close. Start off back a little bit. I'll tell you what, you can actually swing it a little in the beginning. Some of you might do this with some of your kicks. If you get a good 100-pound, 80, 100-pound bag, and you can swing this bag, I think you really start to feel the power of this particular movement. This is not a good infighting drill that I'm doing right now, but it does give you a good idea about the power that you have on this bone on the forearm here, on the thumb side. One, two, inside. Let me do this one at you. It's right in through here. You notice the arc. Don't do this because you'll wrench your shoulder. It stays right in here. Again, this particular angle, like a banana or a boomerang, always the arc, forever the arc. Everything I do, most everything I do when it comes to infighting is arced, okay? Right in through here. Again, taking the other hand with you, not here, both hands to bring all the muscles into it. When you hit in here, shoulder stays down, and you rip it right in through. Again, you can swing it, take a little to the side. If you want to be a real good infighter and work this devastating forearm strike, you can get to a point where you get right up and put your face right on the bag and then work the forearm strike behind the bag, simulating behind the head of the attacker. Because pure good explosive infighters must be able to work when you're in a grappling situation. It's not always out here. So when you're grappling in through here, you must be able to work this particular strike over here. Might not feel that strong here when you're hitting this bag. You might want to back up and let it go so that your ego will get a little bit bigger with this movement here, because this feels much stronger. But let me tell you something. The attacker will go down on this one. Okay, this is a devastating stopping power movement. So again, put your face right on the bag, put your stomach, put your chest right up on the bag, okay, and work this from here. Power kicking. Practice all the kicks that you want. Practice every kick in the kicking arsenal. Anything you can steal from movies, anything at all. Work the legs. They're very, very, very important. However, there's always a however here. When you're working in fighting, explosive power in fighting, you cannot always kick. However, you must be able to use your legs. Now you're going to use your legs to block. Hopefully you're not going to be attacked by another martial artist, although that could occur. We're going to be talking about our shins, we're going to be talking about the toes, we're going to be talking about leg thrusts, not kick. I want you to throw the word kick right out the window, because we're talking about leg thrusts. Let's take a look at the leg and its relationship to the arm. All the way back at the beginning of the video, and all the way through the video, I've been talking about the power mode, the power position, to torque from this power position so that you just really, really explode into the power hitting, into explosive infighting hitting. What we're going to do now with the legs is we're going to take the leg. We never really extended. If you can remember now, at the beginning of the lesson, I was talking about this position, never actually extending the arm. Well, the leg is the same way. So if you're going to kick, you're going to get to a point where you're actually going to extend the leg. Up goes the knee, out goes, the whole thing. But we're not going to do that because I don't have any room. I'm in the phone booth here. I'm grappling here. So I can't use any kicks. I can't use any legs. Wrong. You can use legs. But we're not going to kick. We're simply going to thrust. We're going to take our leg and we're going to thrust it. Just like we take our arm and we put it here and we're hitting with the power. Not the arm. You're hitting with the power mode back here. These muscles back here. This muscle right here. These muscles here. Well, the leg is the same way. Let's start off with your very familiar front kick. Great. Basic, simple. You learn it when you first start as a white belt. You learn how to do a front kick. Up goes the knee, out goes the foot. Well, that's pretty good. But I can't do it here. Okay, I'm going to bring Scott in, another one of my students. I have a lot of big students. I'm not going to bring this up here because he'll just jam me and knock me around on the back of my head. Okay? What I want to do now is I want to take the weapon. The weapon in this instance is my toe. All right? I would advise you to start learning how to kick with your toes. You have shoes on, don't you, out in the street? You have shoes on. You're not going to kick with your instep. Your instep is fine. If you're sparring in a tournament, you can kick with your instep. But in the real world, you want to kick with your toes. All right? You want to take the weapon, which is your toes, your foot, and you actually want to fire it into the body. Let's check out this scenario first here. You're on the beach. You dig your toes in the sand, and you throw the sand up. Or you have a shoe, a loafer type shoe, that's about 2 or 3 sizes too big for you. And you flip the shoe and the shoe flies off. Kind of a silly way of looking at it, but that's basically what we're doing here with the foot. So when you hit, you're going to thrust the leg forward. The leg really never actually ever extends because you're very tight in a realistic infighting situation. You're being attacked. All right, so I'm in pretty close here. If this were a tournament, we'd be punching now because there'd be no kicks because the referee would get confused and they wouldn't see it. All right, you can't really get too high from here. So what you want to do to cause as much destruction as possible, you want to stop this man from hurting you. So you're going to hurt him so that he can think of his pain so that you can get out of there, all right? You're going to take your foot and you're going to bring it straight up into the body. Now you say, well, gee, I got to elevate my knee. I have to elevate my knee. Okay, you will elevate your knee. But instead of doing one, I've got an elevated knee here, and two, I'm just simply going to put the leg up. I'm going to take my hands with me now. When you do any of these leg thrusts, pay attention to my hands, because the hands will go right along with the leg thrust. Okay? I don't want to leave my hands behind, because after I hit him with this leg thrust, my hands are going to go to work if he's still on his feet. One, I'm going to put my foot up into his body, and I'm going to make contact here. Now look what's happening. My knee is already elevated. My knee is at this elevated state, but I'm not here, am I? I'm into the body. I'm over here. Okay? So if you try this on the bag, you'll notice that you're going to be hitting extremely hard. Try not to ever extend the foot. Go back to the original front kick you used for your sparring and everything, but also work real close for this one. The beauty of this, and the positive thing about this leg thrust, and it is a positive thing, not a negative thing, is that this kick cannot get very high. You can't kick very high with this. So you're going to be driving this. You're going to be spending time on target with this and driving it into the body, setting up that shock wave and that trauma that I keep talking about. You're going to be into the groin, you're going to be into the pelvis area or the thigh area of the body. You're not going to be up into the belly. We can all of us in the martial arts can take a pretty good shot in the belly. How many times in a tournament have you seen somebody take a tremendous shot to the belly and they stumble, take a breath, and they come right back in, and the person gets the point and wins the tournament? Don't hit him in the belly. You're just going to get his attention. So I want to turn around a little bit, Scott. I want to hit him in the pelvis area. I want to take this pelvis and I want to move it back. I want to hit him in the groin, obviously, or I want to drive it into the front part of the thigh. Okay? And this will do quite a bit of damage. All right? And then, of course, what that leg thrust does is it puts you in, so where you want to go to work. I call this in the kitchen. My students always hear me say, stay in the kitchen. So once you're in the kitchen, then you can go to work with all of the preceding things that I just showed you. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay? Half speed, I can't hit Scott full ball with this, and then we'll take a look at it with the bag. Okay, from right here on the attacking situation, standing up straight, just firing the kick right in through here. All right? Just firing it right in through here. You'll notice if I turn Scott around a little bit,